I am sat in my pajamas, so I haven't gone to bed. I've been to the cinema, gone 12, and the film Mission Impossible didn't finish till gone 3. I'm wide awake, so I've had things on my mind, and I've been crying my eyes out, and I really wanted to tell you guys what has made me cry and how I'm feeling about it. And I just felt this was a priority to do before doing other videos that I had planned. A part 2 to the abuse I had. There are things that I didn't put in the video that I want in the video. So this is the part 2 that I didn't think I was going to do, but I want to tell you more because it would make more sense, I suppose, and the fact that I can get it off my chest and feel better, it could help me as well. So this is the part 2. It took me a while to say to myself, stop it. Stop asking the same question to yourself every single day. You're never going to get the answer. And that is something you shouldn't have to live with, but you know you will because that's just what you're like. When the police interviewed him, when he denied everything and no commented to every question and said that me and my boyfriend are the only ones that have things to say. We have things to say because you abused me and he saw it happen. Friends of ours saw things that you were doing. I'm sorry, but we have comments to say yes, because we know what happened. The question that I ask myself every single day is, why did you... Obviously, your parents paid for you to have a solicitor, but why did you sit there, no comment everything, deny everything? Why did you not try and prove how innocent you were? You want people to believe you're innocent and I'm a liar. That doesn't go in your favour, because most innocent men who don't even have it in them and are not even capable of abusing their own daughter would have sat there and said, that's my daughter, I wouldn't dare do a thing like that. I respect her privacy in the bathroom and so many more. But you didn't do that. And I ask myself every day why those words never once came out of your mouth. And I've never understood why you never once thought how wrong it was walking around naked, seeing me naked. You thought it was normal because your parents used to walk around the house naked. That's why you done it. You didn't see that what you were doing was wrong. And I got so used to it from a young age that I thought it was normal. I thought that's what families do. Yeah, your family. It's okay to get naked. But it's not, is it? It took a professional to say to me that everything that was happening to me was abuse. I didn't realise it was abuse. And then when I realised it was abuse, That's when it hit me like a ton of bricks. Your parents, the same ones that paid for your solicitor, however much they paid, doesn't matter, does it? It's the fact that they also said that if I'm lying about their son, they're disowning me. I'm not family to them anymore. Saves me a job. I was going to cut you out anyway. Your father, who studied law, told your son, not my brother, your son, that you were going to go to prison and that my lies were going to ruin your life and get you fired from your job, because their concern was for your job and you making your money from the job, not the concern of the fact that their own son could have actually have been capable of abusing his own daughter. Very, very odd to worry about you and your job, not their own granddaughter, their own niece, cousin. Yeah. Very not right. If you're as innocent as you want people to believe, you won't need a solicitor. You won't need anybody. You will just sit there and say, I'm innocent. I would never do that and I haven't done that. So, if you're innocent, why did you need the solicitor? Why did you deny everything? Why did you no comment to every single question? It's the golden one I know I'm not going to have the answer to. The thing that hurts the most is how close I got with your son that was my brother. The very day I told him why the police lady was there, before that moment of telling him, I knew I was going to lose him, because I knew how close he was with his dad. I knew what it was going to do, but it was the risk that had to be taken, because I felt that he needed to be aware of what his dad had done. He straight away did what he still says that he was very glad to do, which his exact words were and still are, I had to warn my best friend. I had to warn him. You were going to take him away from me. His son, my ex-brother, had decided that me, my partner, and his mum all lied about him abusing me just to take his dad away from him, because it's his dad. He still says today, it's because it's my dad. Playing the victim, trying to do a whole, all this was happening to him. Saying that every time he's told I'm going to visit our mum who he lives with, saying that it gave him anxiety. Well, I'm not really a threat to you. I don't really want to talk to you or have anything to do with you. How horrible you are to my mum and uncle, how rude you are, and horrible you are to me, her friends, having her friends feel that they can't come and visit because you're hinting about the fact that they have to leave. They don't visit her anymore, some of them, because of you. You drove 2 of her friends away, Well, you're not going to drive me away, so keep trying. It's not going to work with me, mate. If I'm to be perfectly honest, a friend of my mum's asked her recently if there was anything that he had done to me when I was younger. And my mum didn't answer it. She just said she'll say when she's ready. And my mum's friend said, it's okay, she's been through enough. Which, yeah, I have. But if this is part 2, and I'm all about being honest, I am going to say something he did do when I was really young. Now, I will put the biggest trigger warning out there to this. If you hear 1 or 2 words and you feel triggered, turn it off. I would advise that you just skip this part of the video. Or turn it off and don't watch the rest, because certain people who I had to tell this to felt sick, but I wanted to know that everything I went through was mentioned so I could get the best help, which I am still getting help with all this. When I was 5 or 6 years old, my mum and his son were downstairs. I said to him that I was sore in an area. He didn't believe me. He got the Sudocrem out and put it on his index finger. And he was laughing at me, and he was saying to me that you're faking it. You're not really sore, are you? And he carried on and carried on. And I thought he was doing the motion for the Sudocrem to do its thing. A few moments later, he had stopped and said that you're not really sore, you're faking it. His index finger still had Sudocrem on. I did not think anything of it, because when you're 5 or 6, you don't understand. I pulled my leggings back up and carried on playing with my Barbies. I had no idea what that meant. I don't need to say any more. That is the one thing that I wasn't ready to discuss. But I've done it. I've told you all. And it's never, ever left my head. It's the other thing that I think about every single day. Why did I not say anything? I wish I understood that it was wrong, so I could have said something there and then. But there is things that are happening which could get him the slap on the wrist, which would give me the closure that I know I have some closure, but not the full closure that I know I need, and I know that the slap on the wrist is gonna do that for me. I am on the wait list since before last October of these people that help, I think, just women that have been abused, and they help find the best words to use for when talking to the police, and they're going to help me reopen my case. There is something else that I have agreed to do, which I'm not going to discuss in case, any of them are watching this and could potentially mess it up. So I'm not going to say other things that are happening, but just know my case will get reopened and hopefully there'll be enough done with the best help that he will get the slap on the wrist. He was never going to get fired from his job. He was never going to go to prison. They were just going to tell him that what he did was wrong and that he shouldn't do that. And that was it. Nothing else. To his father, who told his son, my ex-brother, that he was going to go to prison, you scared him and had him so paranoid that he was always scared of my next move, not that I was doing anything. My ex-brother, when I'm at my mum's, before coming into the living room, when the door's closed, he knocks on the door. He knows not to just walk in. If your dad is innocent and never abused me, why do you get paranoid? Why do you knock the door before coming in? Why don't you just walk in? I can answer that. I said and announced that I was in there getting into my pyjamas and that I would not be decent. You still open the door and walk in. I jump and I shake, and it takes me back to when your dad used to do that to me all the time, as if it was nothing. I said to you to get out, and I made you get out, and I said to you that if I'm getting changed and the door is closed, you are to knock before coming in. And he's been paranoid and done that ever since. And I said to him, your dad did that to me all the time and was happy about it. He still said that you're a liar. He wouldn't have done that. He used to walk in the bathroom all the time when you had your showers when you lived there. Weren't you worried about him seeing you naked? And you know that he used to walk around in his boxers all over the house. You know this, don't you? You know that he used to walk around the house naked. Or have you forgotten? Selective memory, probably. His parents used to walk around naked. He got used to it. It became a normal. He thought it was normal that families do that. And that's why I thought it was normal for ages. That's why it didn't clock to me that it was abuse. But it was. But it took somebody else to say that to me, though, because it never entered my mind. Him making me cry nearly every day was enough for me to want to get a new life and get away from him. The worst part about it was a lot of it was happening during lockdown when I had nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. My ex-brother, his son, still thinks me and my partner made all this up to take his dad away from him. And he's fixated on that so much that you will never get any other answer from him but that. I believe that I've covered everything and said everything. I don't want to do a part 3. I really don't want to do videos on this subject anymore. It's just dragging me down, and I'm really... doing this was really exhausting. And I don't want to make any more on those vile, disgusting people. They're not people. I don't know what to call them, but they're not people at all. I really do believe that karma's already come for them. I know it has. His house flooded. Cheered me right up. He uses a club card which gives me and my partner points. He's putting a lot of weight on due to the depression he all of a sudden got after I left his life. And I'm losing the weight and doing very well for myself. That's my middle finger to you lot. And the fact that I don't have to see your faces anymore fills me with a lot of joy. Oh, a message and a reminder to my ex-brother and to anyone who's watching. Every single person that I told what he did to me always said, and has said many of times to me, I always thought there was something odd and not right about him, and it all makes sense now. And I never expected any of them to say to me that they always thought there was something odd about him. He was a bit different from the rest, I will say that, but I never judged. I loved him, he was my dad, you know what I'm saying, but yeah, they thought something the whole time. And to all those that said, oh, did you have it happening the whole time you was at school and college? It started when I started to get lady parts. That's when it started to become a thing. He was lonely and had no woman for years. I'm a woman with body parts, and it just went from there, to be honest. But yeah, that's been my part 2. I'm not doing any more. I just want to get on with my life. I've said everything now. Any bits I haven't said are from experiences that my boyfriend had with him, because that's his business, that's not my business. And I do know it all, yes, of course I do, but he doesn't want it on the internet, so I'm not putting it on the internet. I'm putting what happened to me. That is it, nothing else. And to the true loyal friends that witnessed things, you know, I'm glad you did, because at least I can't say that I was imagining it. If my brother, ex-brother, thinks that I lied about all this to take his dad away from him, that means he's called my boyfriend who went through stuff a liar. His mum who witnessed things, he's calling her a liar. He's calling friends that came to visit who witnessed things liars as well then, because they saw the very things and occasions that I told you about. Yeah, that's it. I am done. I am completely done. I don't want to revisit this. So, yeah, this is everything. I apologise deeply again for anyone that's triggered. I would never want to have triggered anybody, but it's a massive trigger warning, so you don't have to watch it. I just needed to get all this out there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye everybody.